welcome back to It's Miracle Beauty. My name is Brandy and I am a beauty YouTuber who does pan challenges and things that are about utilizing what you have versus buying more as a general thing. I do buy new makeup at times. I'm not on 100% no buy. However, I do try to concentrate both my content but also my life towards using what I have versus consuming more. I have been pan challenging again. I have in the past, again since the beginning of this year, and I have found that I'm actually using up more makeup in my current system than I ever have in the history of me having this much makeup, which we're going on like close to 6 years at this point. So that being said, for heads up, this is the same intro you'll see in all three of my pan challenges this month. I do this every month. I do have autoimmune and other issues that make it difficult for me to film a huge amount of videos. So anyway, I can create shortcuts for myself. I do that. Once you see this once and you understand what it's about, or if you already are used to mine and you want to skip to the content, I totally understand. If you are new here though, I do not pan challenge in the sense that everything in a pan challenge is meant to be used up completely and finished. A lot of my stuff is, like I call it, use the damn stuff. I want to utilize more and more in my collection versus just using what's in front of me. So if I pick, in this case, I think I have 53 items in my challenge this month, and every month pretty much. I have 53 items. I easily could only use those items and never touch the rest of my collection at any point if I only utilize those. So I have some rules for myself. I set a number of times I'm to use it every month. That is the minimum. There is no maximum. If I'm loving a product and I want to use it 31 days or 30 days or whatever, I absolutely can. The only rule is that minimum. The other thing is that I typically don't rotate into new makeup or non-pan makeup 7 days a week. Sundays are always my free day, and then once I get through the month and I've hit most of my minimum uses, I can use pretty much whatever I want. But a lot of times I end up using my pan challenge with other makeup. I don't ever just give up completely on my on the makeup I'm panning. The last thing I'll say is I'm thinking about, and I haven't confirmed it yet, but I think in the month of August, which is my birthday month, I'm gonna set aside my pan products, but I'm not gonna pick any minimum number or minimum number 1 because it's my birthday month. I kind of want to just have fun in my collection and use whatever I want to use, however I want to use it. So that's what I'm thinking right now. This is my end of May, beginning of June update on my pan challenges. So I have about another 60 days to figure that out, so I probably will. Last thing before I get started is you may see me get even more shiny. Now, I personally love looking like a glazed donut because I have dry skin, but it is very hot in my house. I was hoping to film about 2 hours ago before the heat picked up. I film in my walk-in closet and there is no real ventilation in here. So we technically have air conditioning, we have central air, but it doesn't reach these two rooms, my bathroom, ensuite, and my closet very much. I typically have a fan running all summer long, even though we have the air on, so creating more and more electrical use. The other thing is we're actually trying not to turn on the air yet. Unless this gets unbearable and humid, we're trying to use ceiling fans, standing fans, etc. until we get there. We recently replaced our air conditioner, so it should be a lot more economical, both energy usage and pricing, but I just would like to wait as long as I can. So that all being said, if you like what you see, I hope that you'll like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, or actually it's ring the bell for notifications. I don't upload on the same time and the same day every week or every month, so you can miss videos if you are not subscribed with the bell on. So all that being said, let's get started on my first. Okay, so that was that same intro you guys are used to seeing at this point. I do this every single month, but this is my rolling 10. This is typically the quickest of the videos of all of them, including MDs and everything combined. So I've been panning. A lot of these products are more recent, but previous. I actually kept the same products in for most of the year. So we're just now starting to see some shakeups in this category. So one that's been in this beginning of the year, and I am going to leave it in, is the Milk Makeup Stick Foundation. Not Milk Makeup. Makeup Forever. Just to give you perspective, so when you look for there, that's all the way down, so that's how much I've used because it was above the top when I bought it, and it is got a pretty distinct amount gone. It's very noticeable how short it is now, and if I go any further it will fall. It's just like right at the edge. It's not attached very well. So this one I've really enjoyed. It works really good with the Good Apple and also really good with the Pat McGrath. So I'm gonna keep this one in and keep utilizing it. Next is the number 7 press powder. I had originally planned on removing this, and then I didn't. So I may end up swapping it out in the middle of the month. It was one of those ones that all month long I planned on removing it and then forgot. And so I want to utilize, you know, make sure it's what I want to use. But this one is very similar. It's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. It's very soft and almost feels moisturizing powder. It's not drying. It's good for older skin, I think. This is one that I don't have a love-hate relationship with. I don't have any relationship with. It works fine, but it is drugstore. So in my head, why am I using that when I could use my Charlotte Tilbury? Like, it's kind of one of those things. So this one is going to stay in for now, but I may end up taking it out. So another one I'm leaving in because I do want to see how much I can use of it is the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy Single Shadow. This is my oldest item in my collection of high-end makeup. I think it might be the oldest entirely, but I'm not sure. Lip liners and stuff like that I tend to hoard. So this does look like this, and it has a pretty considerable dip in it. I'm trying to see if I can get it in light. There we go. It's a pretty considerable dip in it, but it does seem to still have a decent amount. So how these ones work is you actually can pop these out, and if you look, that's a really big pan. So I'm not sure how far we really truly are, but I'm gonna leave that in and keep using it. One I am moving out, and it's the only one in this particular challenge I'm moving out, is the Ciate London. This is in Twine, and this is just a like pinkish beige, like a neutral pink base, very light, can highlight with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just one that I have so many things I'd like to utilize that this was one that I didn't like go, oh my God, I need to use that. So that told me it was time to move it out. Majority of my items I'm really happy to have in my pan, and I'm happy to utilize every day. Next is the Rose Ink Bronzer, and it does look like this. I have spoken about this previously. I actually think this is a fantastic bronzer. I think it works really well. However, all of Rose Ink's cream products I am not going to buy anymore for the sheer fact that this is less than 6 months old, or getting to about 6 months old, and it was already drying out. Since I have been utilizing it more, it is having some moisture back into it, kind of similar to the Dominique, but at a different rate. This is actually sweating right now. So if you look, it's sweating, so it has a lot of moisture in it, but normally this is very dry, which makes it have issues, which makes it have problems like blending, or, you know, I can be finicky with other products. Previous to this month, this worked very good. Like, it was a very good bronzer. I liked it. The color is, if you look, a little bit off. Like, this is way too orangey for what I would prefer, but what I do is I use it with what's a very cool tone bronzer or contour shade, and I kind of blend them together almost like an ombre effect, and I think it looks really good. So that's something that I'm going to keep utilizing to see how much my money's worth I can get, but then I will probably move that out. Next is my Maybelline Eraser Multi-Use Concealer, and this is the corrective color. So if you look, we are at the very bottom of this bad boy. I mean, there is very little left in this. I'm going to keep this in and try to finish it this month. Next is my Tory Burch perfume. This is also going to be still. I just realized I didn't tell you what I was moving in. I moved out that Ciate. I am moving in my Milk Makeup. This is a travel size of the Milk Makeup Grip Primer. I used to love this primer. It used to be my favorite primer. And then all of a sudden along the way, when I finished my other one, I started realizing it probably wasn't my favorite. So I had already bought this because I bought it when I got rid of the other, or finished using the other one. So I am going to utilize that, and I apologize. That was the replacement for the Ciate. So another one that's staying in is my Tory Burch Love Relentlessly. I actually really adore this perfume. It's funny because it's really not what I would consider a summer perfume, but I'm still using it. I don't care. I'll make it work. Next is the Coconut Skin Primer from First Aid Beauty. This is one that I had a travel size first, used that completely, and now I'm working on my full size. This one definitely has some use in it that, you know, it's used up. So if you look, it's sitting at the top. I got to move it down so to actually move. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you look, I'm up to there. Okay, so that's about where we're at, probably about right there. So we definitely have some significant use. So then when I forgot to mark, I'd meant to mark, but when the air is all in it, it looks full, so it can like make you think there's a lot in it. At least that's what it did to me. But when I was using it today, I actually realized there's a decent amount gone. So that's definitely staying in. That's one of my favorite primers I've ever used, and I love it a lot. I think if you have dry skin, it's one that you can utilize without it being too heavy, but it just gives you like this like moisturized, like plump face, which is what my goal is. So the second to last item in this one is the Flirt Blush Duo from Jouer Cosmetics. This one does look like this. I'm going to leave this in for now. I am not loving the blushes as much as I like the highlighter, or not the highlighter, the contour bronzer combo, but I am going to keep it on and see if I can use it. And then the last one I have, and there's some comments on the previous video about what my feelings are on this. This is the L'Oreal Infallible. This is a very popular foundation that I never could figure out how people utilized it, like how it always looked like shit no matter what I did. And what another poster and I were talking about is that you need like the smallest amounts. So when you think you have enough, you actually need less. And when you think you have enough, you actually need even less than that. A little bit goes a very long way with this foundation. And then also if you have dry skin, you want to prep properly. When I use this, I actually use a face oil or a super moisturizing, goes without saying. I'm trying to think of the more of a greasier primer is I guess how I would put it. Anything that's grippy you don't want to use, in my opinion, if you have dry skin. So, or anything mattifying either. But this one, it does look really good when you follow that and you actually prep properly and then use very little, but also it lasts forever. I wore this for 14 days, one day this month, and when I came home, I was like, I looked in the same mirror and was like, this is how it looked this morning. Like, this is really good. So I like this. If you have oily, combo to oily, I would bet this is a dream foundation, and probably why it's very popular and why I couldn't figure it out. I was using too much and I probably wasn't prepping my skin right. So definitely something if you have in your collection and you're looking for ways to utilize it. If you're panning, definitely a way to go. The other thing that I did is I tried to use, I typically prep my eyelids with a MAC paint pot, Painterly, every single day. I love it. It smooths my eyes, makes them look better, etc. And I started doing is actually using this some days too, just so I'm utilizing it in another way. That way the faster it will get used. So that is my 10 and 10, no, my rolling 10 pan challenges. This is always the shortest video of all of them, but I'm going to film my last one, the 20 and 20, when we get done with this. If you like this video, I hope you'll like, share, subscribe. Make sure to ring that bell for notifications. I do not upload at the same time and the same day every week or every month or anything. So you can miss videos if you are watching my pan progression. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope I see you again soon, guys.